Hey guys, Phil Cameron here, and in today's workshop, we will be talking about the ADS hub, so the WEBLINK hub from Idatastart. What is it? What does it do? Why do you need it? And how does it work? So what is the WEBLINK hub? Basically, it is a tool that I have in my hand here that will allow you to program and configure your remote starter. You're probably thinking, but wait, Phil, I already have an ADS USB that I plug to the USB of my computer, and I use that to flash my remote starters all the time. You're correct. The WEBLINK hub will do the exact same thing, but the team at ADS added tons of new features in order for you to be future-proof. So there's a lot of newer cars out there. They have a lot more stronger architecture as far as the CAN or the data network in the car, and they will require a little bit more different procedure for you to program them. And this is where you absolutely need the hub. So if you don't already have one, please make sure that you buy it. And this is a programming tool, so you only need to buy it once, and then you get to use it forever and ever and ever. So let's unbox this and see what's included with this device. All right, we have a close-up of the box here. This is what it looks like. So let's take a peek at what's inside. So we will open the box. The first thing that we get out of it is the hub itself. So this is a little device. It has some connectors in the back, and it has a slot on top. At the bottom of the packaging, there's a little parts box that contains all the wiring necessary for this. So let's get everything out, and then let's talk about what's in the box. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. So this we already saw. This is the WEBLINK. The first part that you will see here is a wall adapter. Now, because the hub requires a little bit more power that's necessary or that's supplied by a USB connection, it comes with a wall adapter. So basically, at the back of the device here, you have a connector. You will take your wall adapter. You can plug it in and connect it to the wall, so you have power. They also thought about the mobile guys, so the people who do this on the road. They will give you an OBD2 adapter to supply power. So same thing, plug it in the back, but if you're working from the vehicle, you can use the OBD2 port to provide your hub some power. The next cable that we see here is the USB cable that will connect the hub to your computer. This is standard USB to a USB-C. If we look in the back, simply plug it in, connect the other end to your computer, and away you go. The next part is the cable that is used to connect the hub to your remote starter. We have one connector that's gray, and we have one connector that's black. The gray connector will go at the gray port in the back and will lock in place. Now, the way they designed this connector, if you pay attention to it, it is an over-molded connector. So this was designed like this so it can withstand the abuse of connecting, disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting. If you have the regular ADS USB adapter, there's a locking tab on this. On this, you do not have it, so you'll be able to plug as many brains as you want without risking damaging this. So now that we know what's inside the box, how about I give you a demonstration on how to use this? All right, we will give you a short overview of how you use the WEBLINK hub and why it is required for certain new applications. So we've seen this device. As you can see, I have connected it all to my computer and to a power source. We have an LED. We have an LED ring here. There's a little key slots on the top. The key slot will be used to read and write information directly from the key. So typical setup, it's plugged in. I have my data port here. I have a remote starter, which is a brand new G0. I will connect it to the brain. And now let's take a closer look at the programming procedure of using the hub. So let's take a look. I have launched the WEBLINK desktop application, and as you can see, it is a blank remote starter. There's nothing like it. So you will notice that the programming procedure is very similar to what you know. The only difference is when we will get to do the transponder portion, it will do it a little bit differently. So for this demonstration, I will use a Subaru. Let's pick a 23 Subaru. We will go with an Impreza. And it's a regular key from Canada. It is asking us which solution we want to use. We will select SUB9, which is the latest firmware that makes use of the hub itself. Same as before, part of the traditional programming, if the kit that you're doing comes with a remote, it's already there. So I will keep it. I'll click Save and go to Telematics. Obviously, I want to use a My Car 2 on this, so I will turn it on. I will turn on My Car, hit Save and Continue. This pop-up here, don't click OK, read it first. It's telling us that it is required for you to use an accessory called the accessory RFID. This is what will be responsible for transmitting and getting information about the transponder bypass to the vehicle, and this is an external part. We will click OK, stating that we know that it is required. We will use the default firmware, and we will not be using a T-harness today because I don't have one. So I'll select hardwire. All right, here is the quick configuration. We have the features that are most frequently changed highlighted here. If you wanted to change more features into the options, you can go into the feature menu. If you know you're going to leave everything by default, you can click Save and go flash to summary. Because it's a demonstration, we will take the long way out. So let's go into the feature menu. So feature menu, as you can see, we have a lot of different menus available here. This is where you can customize all of the inputs and outputs of the feature of the remote start. So you are able to change whatever you want. So just an example here, you could change this feature to something you want. If you want to leave everything, you can click on next menu on top or at the bottom. I know I am not going to change anything else here. So you know what? I will click Save and go to Guides. Once we are in this section, we can access the installation guide here. And one feature that people don't pay attention to is this guy here, Idatawire. You know what? Let's take a look at what it is. So basically, Idatawire will give you every connection that you will do in the vehicle, where they go, to what connector, to what pin position, and it will give you a detailed view picture-wise. So right now on this one, we are looking for a 12-volt source. It is a light green color wire. Where is it in the car? So if we take a look here, it says it's at the steering column. It's right here, so it's highlighted. We can click on it. We can take a look at the second picture in here. We have a close-up view of the exposed steering column. It shows that the connector we're looking for is this guy here, and it's located right here. If we need a closer view to what we need to connect to, we will click on this, and the 12-volt wire we want is highlighted as number 4 right here. So this will keep things very, very simple for where you need to connect stuff in the car. The installation guide is fantastic, very nicely done, but sometimes at steering column on a white connector, if there's more than one, you can quickly identify it just by taking 5 seconds and taking a look at the pictures. So now let's click Step and go to Flash. So here on this screen, we will give you an overview. So this is the starter I'm using. This is the vehicle that we selected. We have enabled the Idatastart transmitter. And if I click here, it shows us that we also enable the telematics portion, so my car too. Now we are at the flashing process. So we will hit flash. And this is where things differ a little bit from your traditional remote starter flashing process. This is where it is extremely important for you to pay attention to the instructions that you see on the screen. So here it is asking us to remove any other keys from the key ring before we proceed. We want one single key to be available. Once we've taken the key we're going to use out of the keychain and there's nothing else attached to it, we'll click continue. Then it's asking us to place the key into the hub. This is new. Usually you don't have to do this. So let's take a look. Here we have the hub. It's powered on. We have a little slot here and a little hole. So if I take my Subaru key here, I simply insert it as is. As you can see, the key is now in the hub. So if we go back to the flashing instructions, my key is now in the hub. I will hit continue. It's asking us to ensure there's nothing else around the hub, no other keychain. So don't leave your extra keychain next to the hub. Make sure there's nothing around it. Otherwise, it will read that information as well. Second part, you will hit continue, and then it will start flashing. You would now take your module after you programmed it, go do your regular installation in the vehicle, make your connection, follow the learn procedure, and away you go. So it is a little bit different programming procedure because you do have to stick the key inside the hub itself for it to read the information, but it will not take a whole lot of time to complete. The key thing here is follow the online instructions. Don't go skip, and try to make it work. Make sure that you follow the online instructions and you should be good to go. The key thing to remember here is if you don't have a hub already, please make sure that you have one, because some of the new solution that will be released by Idatastart will absolutely require the hub. And if you don't already have the hub, you will find out that you need it at the day of install when your customer is there and you're trying to do the install and you go, oh wait, I need the hub, I don't have one. And then you need to order one and everybody's unhappy. So make sure that you purchase the hub. It's a one-time purchase and it will be a great tool. Keep in mind, most of the newer solutions that ADS will cover will absolutely require the hub. So there you have it. That was a quick demonstration how to use it. We didn't finish because it's just a demonstration purposes and we didn't have everything set up, but you guys saw exactly what's involved into using the hub. Hey guys, Phil Cameron from Automobility. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's workshop. And if you are still on the fence on do you need the hub or you don't need the hub, take my advice, get it, one-time purchase, and you will absolutely will not regret this because most of the newer solution requires it. So if you ever need more information about this, you can always check out the website, idatastart.com.